like maybe you came in from a trip and you're like, oh, I'm jet lagged.
Whitney, you're up, sir.
All right.
Yep.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us safely here tonight. Thank you for all the emergency workers and city workers out there and the great job they're doing. Please protect them, protect all others out in this weather tonight, and be with us, council people, as we make the best decisions we can for the citizens of Boonville.
Amen. Thanks, Whitney. Good evening. Roll call.
Venable,
Here.
Dorman, Stock,
Here.
Young,
Here.
Meadows. Here. Bozarth, Hurt,
Here.
Carter.
Here.
Hearing of citizens' comments. There are none. Approval of the minutes of December 2, 2019 council meeting. Those are on pages 3 through 7. Are there any changes or corrections or questions? And they would stand as submitted. Thank you. There are no consent items tonight. Presentations of the council claims on page 8.
Ordinance appropriating money, be it ordained by the council of the city of Boonville as follows. Section 1, for the purpose of paying salaries in various accounts against the city of Boonville which have been allowed by the council at the regular meeting thereof on December 16th, 2019. The sum of $416,279.53. General fund, $267,612.58. Sanitation, $16,365.54. CIP tax, $11,809.13. Waterworks, $31,095.47. Capital projects, $0.00. Wastewater, $47,760.46. Tourism, $13,391.42. Gaming, $13,641.60. Parks and Water, $14,603.33. Section 2. The accountant is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks on the respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $416,279.53, being the total amount of money above appropriated. Section 3. This ordinance shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage. First reading on December 16th, 2019. Read for the second time the 16th day of December 2019, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Second reading, title only.
Ordinance appropriating money.
Mayor, make a motion this be approved.
Thank you, Morris. Whitney, thank you for the second. Any questions, comments? Roll call.
Venable,
Yes.
Stock,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter.
Yes.
Item 7, unfinished business. Second reading of bill number 2019-034, amending Code of General Ordinances with adoption of January 2020 City of Boonville Personnel Manual.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, amending the Boonville Code of General Ordinances, Section 2-35, adopting the January 2020 City of Boonville Personnel Manual, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Is there a motion? Thank you, Susan. Second? Henry, thank you. Questions or comments? Yes, sir, Morris.
In this manual, do y'all realize we're giving one group a pay raise? We're also giving the city employees a new holiday that we have never discussed before. And I'm not sure how much other things, I just started going through that this morning.
I just want to clarify, the pay raise is just for people who hold a license.
But it's still a pay raise.
And it's $5, it's an award that they get on their monthly salaries. And we're replacing the discretionary day with the floating holiday. That would be a use it or lose it.
Well, I'm just saying, that I feel like that the personnel manual, anything that has changed should have been brought to the council's attention before we vote on it, and not assuming.
Particularly financial
Right.
things, yeah, dollars, because that.
Anything that affects the dollar amount.
Yeah.
Then, the only other thing in the personnel matter, which I really don't think the city council people is not considered as city employees.
No.
So that part in there where that, no one is allowed to talk to the media or anything except the city employees, or, the city administrator or the mayor. That does not affect the council if we wanna talk to them. I just wanna make that clear.
Right, yeah, anyone elected is not considered a city employee.
Right, but I just wanna make it clear, 'cause, and nothing against the other council people, but I think there's a lot of things that's passed up here that we don't really understand.
Well, to clarify that, issue, we should be, doing a better job of making sure the council catches, or is informed of changes.
Well, I got
Previous.
I got my 2017 out to compare
Yeah.
what had changed in it.
Yeah, and I had highlighted the changes I made in the memo, that's why I pulled them out separately and mentioned all of those things.
You talking about the memo that was,
Attached to the packet, in the last packet.
Yeah, it was all highlighted.
So how many holidays do they get?
Yeah. 30 holidays, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 holidays, and that includes the floating holiday. Like I said, they used to have a discretionary day, and it came off your sick leave. This just replaced that day.
So for government, that's pretty reasonable.
I think it's reasonable. It gives a little more flexibility in how a person uses that time off. I think many institutions that I'm aware of have that type of a holiday, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Well, with it being floated, you
Yes.
don't have to do a whole lot of justification,
That's right.
personally. Henry, you look like you had something you wanted to say.
No, I didn't have anything.
Okay,
I just agreeing with her.
okay, all right.
when would that $5 take effect?
When would what, I'm sorry?
The $5 increase?
It would take in effect January, so all of that will take into effect. It's not a major,
It's not a major,
Impact.
I agree with that, but we usually do pay raises and stuff when we do the budget.
yeah, we can build this one in. We have the space to cover January, February, March, and then we'll build it into April. But it was a suggestion of ML's, so he felt like I don't think we've done a raise since,
Yeah, to clarify, it's not a salary
Yeah.
issue.
No, it's licensed, I
Yeah, it's
realize
not a
that.
salary issue, and it affects probably 5, 6, 7, 8 maybe employees. And it hasn't been changed in 30 years.
All right, was there anything extra prior to this one for the
Yeah.
licensing?
There was, but it hasn't changed in 30 years. So the rates that in the 2017 manual that Morris has mentioned are the rates that have been there for 30 years.
Okay. Any other questions for ML
So what were the rates?
before?
They went up $5.
so in the 2017 manual, an A license was $55, and now it's $60 per month. And then a B is $27.50, and a B now is $32.50. A C is $11 per month in 2017, now it's $16, and a D was $5.50, and now it's $10.50.
Yeah, and it applies to those employees that have a wastewater treatment or water treatment A, wastewater treatment or water treatment B, C, or D, or the comparable distribution system 1, 2, or 3 license.
If I do my math, we were talking like $500 a year.
Right.
That's
Right.
what I was
Right.
coming up to. So,
That's total.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
Split among
Yeah.
So,
Now, they go to school and they study for those licenses.
They do. And they have to do continuing education. So periodically, they have to do continuing education to get continuing education hours to keep their license current.
Okay. Good point, Morris. I think one of the things that Kate did well was give us at least a prelude, an introduction to some of the changes with her memo ahead of time. But maybe what we need to do is emphasize a little bit more so that we'll pay more attention. Thanks, Emil. Anything else, Morris? Okay. I have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Venable,
yes.
Stock,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter.
No.
Okay, motion passes. Reports, yeah, excuse me, new business, consider resolution number R 2019-07, authorizing an agreement with Septagon Construction Management Incorporated in Porter, Berenzen and Associates PC for Kemper Campus projects.
A resolution of the City of Boonville, Missouri authorizing and approving agreements between Septagon Construction Management Incorporated in the City of Boonville and between Porter Berenzen and Associates PC and the City of Boonville, Missouri pertaining to construction management and design services for Kemper Campus projects and providing an effective date therefore. Whereas the City of Boonville is embarking on Kemper Campus capital improvements, including Academic Hall, Library Learning Center, and the demolition of D Barracks, and whereas the citizens of Boonville approved a temporary sales tax to support these projects on August 13th, 2019, and whereas this major project requires professional, architectural, and construction-related services. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Boonville, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that a certain agreement between Septagon Construction Management Incorporated and the City of Boonville, Missouri relating to Kemper Campus capital improvements, a copy of which is marked Exhibit A, is attached hereto and made a part hereof, is hereby approved. Section 2, that a certain agreement between Porter, Berenzen, and Associates PC and the City of Boonville, Missouri relating to Kemper Campus capital improvements, a copy of which is marked Exhibit B, is attached hereto and made a part hereof, is hereby approved. Section 3, that the City Administrator and the City Clerk are hereby authorized to execute and attest said agreement on behalf of the City of Boonville. Section 4, this resolution shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage and approval past the 16th day of December 2019 by the City Council of Boonville, Missouri.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay, thanks, Morris. Thanks, Mike, for the second. Questions or discussion?
I just want to clarify that this is sort of setting the stage for all the Kemper projects that were passed as a part of the sales tax. And these are the people that we have been working with for over 3 years now, so they have all of the history and all of the information in the lead up. This isn't, their work will be continuing over the next 5 years. So we'll see little pieces go out to them as they do the planning for us.
Yes, sir.
Will we have a contract in place with the Y and the library?
We have a
Before we do
contract in
anything.
place on the Y now. We do not have a contract. We have a memorandum of understanding or something like that.
We only got
with
the
library.
contract, we only got the contract for the Y on the existing building,
That's correct.
not on a new building.
We will when we have the new building.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have a contract before we build a new building?
Probably not, but I think we could maybe work for an MOU, just like, I hope in January we'll bring an MOU a formal MOU between the library and the city. We could work on one with the Y.
I mean, I'd like, know exactly what the contract says before we spend a bunch of money.
As we're gonna do with the Second Street project, I was gonna mention this later in my optional time. We've established an ad hoc committee that we'll be approving in January to watch out for these kind of things. Susan has agreed to chair that committee, Morris. We're gonna do the same thing with Second Street, so that we know, and that we have council representatives keeping track of what's going on. Just like we did with the soccer. And Julie was smart to do that because it gave us something that helped us keep track.
With the soccer, since you brought it up, we're still don't have a contract.
We don't have an intergovernmental contract? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yes, that's
So,
correct.
here we are, spend $7 million and don't have a contract.
Okay. I can't deny that that's true. That is true. We're still waiting on GIS. That seems to be the only holdup.
And the school board, anyway, let's don't get into soccer right now. But I'm just saying,
Obviously not. We've already diverted.
I'm just saying that, I think it's a great project. We need to do it and everything, but I like to have a contract.
What do you want the contract to say?
What they're responsible for and what the city's responsible for. We got into the contract we got with the Y right now. It's up in the air who's responsible for what. We just need to make sure we're covering everything.
To help that out, Whitney, the contract we have with the Y was created 2003?
Probably.
Yeah. And it's got a lot of holes in it. And that needs to be corrected when we go to the contract for the new buildings. And Morris is right about that. We got some work to do there.
We've worked hard to get a contract with the library and understanding exactly what we're gonna do there. Let's do the same thing with the Y.
Yeah, and the Y thing was more of an MOU, wasn't it?
The library, you mean?
Yeah, excuse me, the library? It's
It might
like
be a
an
little
MOU.
generous to call it it was a letter that they sent that said, we agree
Right.
if you do these things, and you all sat around and shook your heads, so, that's why we're working on a formal MOU that will
Right.
come in January or February that will more outline that.
I agree. The library is 99% done.
Yep.
But we haven't even started talking about the new building and everything as far as the Y goes.
Right. You're correct.
That'll be stuff we'll approve as we go.
Yes.
Correct. Yes.
I do have one thing to point out, or I was gonna ask if Doug has reviewed part of this, since there's a lot of legal in here, and number 2 is on page 23, it refers to us as Board of Aldermen instead of City Council. I don't know if that is an issue that needs to be corrected or not.
That's a good pickup. I missed that.
It's on the bottom of 23.
It's right above 1.1.10.
So,
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that needs to be changed before, or if that matters.
Well, I would say it does,
It's more of
since we
a,
don't have one of those. We will see that that's done. Thank you, Whitney. We should note that in the minutes. Any other comments or questions? Roll call.
Venable,
Yes.
Stock,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Reports of standing committees. Police board.
Did you say the police board?
Yes, sir.
That meeting was canceled.
Planning and zoning.
That meeting was canceled due to lack of agenda items.
Okay, reports of city officials, city administrator. Kate?
just two things. One, I want to note that, in 2020, there will be an election on the CIP tax. It's a 5-year renewal date. So in January, you will see before you an ordinance calling for the election. And then also, for most of you, you know that in January, we'll start getting into our budget work session. So, probably the first meeting of January, we'll try to lay out the calendar.
When do we open the candidacy for council?
She's gonna announce it.
Okay. You got it. City clerk's got a report, guys and gals. We gotta remember this. You got anything else? Yeah, I've got, 2 things. A, I think I was the only person in this room that attended the DNR tree lighting this year. Last year we had a few more. You had an officer, Randy, that was there. Nice young man, by the way, stood right next to me. DNR, of course, the house itself has been a Boonville asset forever. For those of you that have been through it, you know how beautiful it is and how well they keep it. In addition to having that side of their business, they have begun to do some really good fundraising for special causes. And they announced 2 of those this year, where they had reached their goals on that. The group that came to see the lighting, and it was cool, by the way, might have been 100, 125 people, just local citizens and a few people that are attached to DNR. They have a little bit of singing that they go on. It doesn't last, maybe 30, 40 minutes, would you guess, Susan?
Probably.
Yeah, I think because you went last year, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's a nice thing. And now, granted, I didn't announce it. I didn't make any attempt to try and attract any of you to come along with me. But you get to listen to me speech. I think it was all of 3 minutes.
Is that part of the fundraiser? Buying tickets?
No, I didn't do that. This was basically a thank you for what they do and how they do it. But it's a good event, and I think all of us should consider, watching for it and taking part in it next year. Number 2 is ad hocs, and Morris and I had a long conversation over what we're hoping to be able to do with Second Street and Heritage Days and what he's been able to accomplish downtown. And we're gonna back that up with an ad hoc committee to track what happens with Second Street. We've got some good things working there, particularly because they're in Katie's hands. The second one is Susan's committee that's gonna track what's going on with the Kemper improvements. I tried to make these committees smaller. For those of you that were around, because Kate were around for the soccer committee, that was really way too big, and it was almost unmanageable. I think Gary at first probably did a pretty good job at holding it together, but even as military as Gary is with committees, he couldn't even keep it under control. Ad hocs can give us an opportunity to have intimate information and participation in what's going on without a whole lot of formality. And that's what I hope to accomplish with those. And I thank you, Susan, for being a part of the one for Kemper. And of course, Morris, I'm assuming that you're gonna be a part of the one for Second Street.
Mayor, I haven't asked him, but if Paul would be on that committee, he'd be a good one with parks.
Geez, I'm not quite sure, but I think Katie suggested that Paul's not busy enough, that he needs to have
He
something
never
else
does
to do.
anything with parks, I can't.
No. Oh, wait a minute, he's here, we're
Well, I
talking
don't,
about it.
we couldn't even buy a shovel to clean off the sidewalk.
Good, you're right,
No, but I
absolutely
think
correct.
Paul would be a
Yep.
good one if he
I
would
agree.
do it.
I agree, thank you. Did you say yes?
I missed the question. I'd be more than happy to be part of it.
Okay. City clerk,
No, you're not done.
I'm not done, that's right, I am not done. And you know what, I made a note of the page too. Page 45. We need a motion to approve Shirley McGowan for the cemetery board, Matt Schneringer for the Kemper Campus YMCA board committee, Jody Stock for this is the ad hoc committee, by the way, Jody Stock for that same committee, Mary Pat Obley for that same committee, and Sandy Meisenheimer for that committee. Just as a side, Susan and Brent will also be on that committee, and Susan will be the chairman. If I could have a motion to approve that, I'd appreciate it.
So moved.
Morris, thank you. Thank you, Whitney, for the second. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Excuse me, what? Should I say roll call instead of all in favor? Okay, roll call.
Venable,
Yes.
Stock,
I'm gonna abstain from this vote.
okay. Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Hurst,
Yes.
Carter,
I guess so.
All right. Now, city clerk.
Okay, I've got a couple things. First off, I want to inform the council of the candidate filing period for the April 7th, 2020 municipal election. It will open on Tuesday, December the 17th, 2019, which is tomorrow, from 8 a.m. to the closing date of January 21st, 2020 at 5 p.m. The offices to be filled for this upcoming election are for a 2-year term for each council representative for wards 1 through 4 for those seated on my left. Interested parties will complete a declaration of candidacy, pay a $25 filing fee with the city clerk at City Hall located at 401 Main Street in Boonville, and have their city taxes paid and all user fees current on the last day to file. A public notice of this filing period was published in the Boonville Daily News on November the 29th of 2019. And secondly, I want to remind the council that the next regular council meeting is scheduled for January the 6th of 2020, which is 3 weeks from today, due to the month of December having 5 Mondays. So mark your calendars. And that's all I have.
Teresa, do we have it on Monday or Tuesday?
It's on Monday.
Okay.
The Tuesday meeting will be the next meeting, Martin Luther King Jr. holiday.
Okay,
Oh, so
thank you.
that's the 21st, right?
Yeah, the next meeting after that will be the 21st, which is Tuesday. And I'll remind you that, or on January 6th.
You'll probably forget.
No, I will not. I don't forget anything.
Except for your keys.
Yeah, except for my keys.
Okay. Anything else to come before the council? Morris?
We had a great Christmas parade. The chamber did an outstanding job.
Dog parks.
I'll be honest, first one I made in probably 2 or 3 years, but I was really surprised at the turnout of people
Good.
and everything. And I think the chamber needs to be recognized putting that on, and made a good showing for Boonville.
Good.
But I miss Santa Claus.
Ah. Anything else?
No,
ML? What you got?
The city administrator met with the regional technical operations manager of Suddenlink, and he came to town to brief us on basically a complete rebuild of their infrastructure in town. They are, over the next several months, they'll have a contractor, Sky Tech Services, that will be extending fiber optic cable to much of their service area, and then they're also going to include fiber optic to coaxial cable terminations, and there'll be some service connection replacements. It's going to be done in much like Socket and the other internet providers do in fiber hoods. We currently don't have what fiber hoods are going to do first, and I think we'll have to wait until we actually get the contractor on the ground in town to know what fiber hoods they work at. The last time we talked to the contractor, his intention was to have 3 boring crews in town. So there may be a couple fiber hoods going at one time.
That would bring up a question. Does that mean that they're gonna go underground? They're taking it out of the air and putting it in the ground?
Well, he didn't specifically say about replacing overhead wires, but most certainly everything that's currently underground is going to be replaced by or supplemented by fiber optic cable.
All right, so wherever the current cable connection to the home that's under the ground.
Yeah, some of
That's gonna
those
be
may not
replaced.
necessarily change because he's going to do fiber optic to coaxial cable terminations. So they could very well, and I would think we'd have to wait until we see the whole project develop. They could very well leave a subdivision or a street served by coaxial cable, but that service will then come from fiber optic.
Okay.
And all this branches out of their, they call it the head end, their antenna site out in Lake Farrell.
Right. Remember that. It's good, thank you. Is there a motion? Mike is the motion, Steve is the second. All in favor, stand up.
So you are running.
No, you can keep it.
So last summer, I shared this last summer, Jody either ran into sockets,
So,
they had
that's
their
something.